So I want to talk about time management for PhD students, a really important topic that is not addressed enough. And I want to do something that's really different. I want you to think about how I can build a healthy family, home life, whatever that might be first, and then work from there and actually build that base before you start thinking about work. It's completely different in terms of how most people sort of view this. They want you to go do time management tactics. They want you to use all these calendars and all that kind of stuff. In my thoughts, in my beliefs, none of those things work. All those sort of rational tools, they don't work that well, right? Because the reason is you're going to forget about them, or they're not important, or they're not going to sort of trigger things. So I have all of the calendar things and all those kind of things, and I've had diaries and all of that kind of stuff, agendas, and they never work effectively for me. What works effectively for me is to build a base, and a strong base around me as an individual, so then I inherently enjoy to go back to work. I inherently want to actually do this work. And so it's different, right? So one of the tricks, and the way that I sort of changed my mind on this, one of the tricks that Ernest Hemingway used to do, I believe it was Ernest Hemingway, he would, when you get energetic, when you feel that you really like to write and you're in that moment that you're just, things are going really well, stop. Right? And if you stop, what's going to happen is you're going to want to get back to it the next day. You're going to be really excited to get back to it. So we want to have things very rational and boxed in, and all of the programs and procedures to make sure that things are all boxed in. It works really, really incredibly well if we are robots, but we are not robots. We are driven by emotion. We're driven by feelings of inadequacy. We're driven by wanting to make sure that we please other people, like a lot of things like that, right? Like all of those really strong emotional, what we would consider non-rational stuff, right? All of those kind of things are what actually drive human behavior. And if we can build those things in, right? So build in a nice, healthy family life, build in having your life revolves around having fun and excitement and doing things that give you pleasure, then what you're going to do is you're going to inherently want to go back and do some things, whether it is getting that rest and relaxation on, the weekends, making sure that you have a big block of time that is your time to go do things like get groceries, make sure that, you're eating properly, you have a great dinner with your significant other or friends, that you are really focusing on all of those things. So when you come back, you feel like you're actually there and you're present, and it's part of your life to actually do this. And I think everybody that is very successful in the career really thinks about this sort of idea that you are building this life around what you actually do, and then the research itself is sort of secondary almost in terms of who you are as a person, right? Like that sort of complete person is really important. Anybody that's been doing the career for a long time, they're going to tell you this, right? Those deadlines and the getting the things down, that doesn't work that well. You're going to be able to do that for a short period of time, but then you're going to reach a moment where you're like, what the heck am I doing with myself, right? So this is where I'm thinking about, like, how do you have a higher calling to what you actually do so that you will inherently want to do things and be driven to actually do those particular things and not worry about the rest of it, all of the little details that kind of fill itself in, but worry about, like, I'm going to sit down and actually just enjoy what I'm doing. So making things enjoyable, making things that are fun, that you get excited about, that's actually the really important part of actually doing time management. It's less about the rational stuff. So the rational stuff is viewing it as a machine. I don't want you to view your life as a machine where you have checklists and procedures and all that kind of stuff, but view it as I'm just going to enjoy the moment. I'm going to enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm going to get excited when things are exciting. And then when things are kind of grinding and boring, I'm going to look for ways to make that part exciting as much as I can, right? Whether it is having that escapism at night where you will go and watch Seinfeld for or whatever your favorite TV show is, or you have your exercise or whatever. You have your when you're sitting down and doing the work, you're actually writing it. That you are, maybe you have your target of like, once I get this done, I'm gonna go and have something to eat. So that's what I end up doing, right? My reward is almost always eating. And I will think about, okay, once I get this done, or I'll get to a certain moment, I'll be like, okay, let's take a break. Let's go do something, have a cup of coffee, make sure it's part of my enjoyment, right? So thinking about like how you can get that reward stimulus and joy and all of that fun, good stuff as part of your reward system, I think that's what's actually going to get you to the end. And ultimately, all of this, right, time management, all that kind of stuff is just getting your butt to the seat and getting back to work. And that's exactly what I need to do right now. All right, take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.